In May 2021, Global News published its headline: 215 unmarked graves were discovered at a former residential school in Kamloops, BC. When I first read the article, I was sick to my stomach. I was deeply saddened. Moreover, a sense of horror enwrapped me. I was left wondering, what if I was one of those Indigenous children taken away from their parents to never be seen again? Fortunately, the Canadian government furthered its acknowledgement of its wrongdoing, and the Truth and Reconciliation movement took center stage. As a youth, I felt compelled to do something. I didn't just want to sit on the sidelines, but be actively engaged with this movement. Hello judges and fellow contestants, I am Sergeant Cianchetti, and today I will be discussing the positive relationship between youth engagement and truth and reconciliation. A relationship that includes a truthful understanding of Canadian history, an opportunity for social justice, and skill sets that will help give truth and reconciliation the attention it deserves. A key part of truth and reconciliation is correcting Canadian history's half-truths. History informs us. Without it, we'd have no recollection of where we came from or need to be. This knowledge is crucial, especially for a nation founded to profit off of Indigenous peoples and their lands. We cannot afford for this history to be misinterpreted or ignored. We know that when people are young, their brains are like sponges. If we cannot correctly understand Canadian history, we cannot critically analyze today's issues. In other words, if we don't involve youth with truth and reconciliation now, how will they understand matters concerning Indigenous peoples as adults? This would only be furthering the cycle of neglect that this nation has seen for hundreds of years. For truth and reconciliation to succeed, it needs the youth of a nation understanding its story. The second benefit of youth engagement with truth and reconciliation is its current impact. Young people are pivotal to the development of an ideal society as they represent it at every level. Many are conscious of their roles in their community and are committed to it. No other segment of society can match the enthusiasm of youth. Who hasn't heard of Greta Thunberg, the Swedish teenager who inspired global action and recognition for environmental stewardship, and won Times Person of the Year for her effort? Imagine putting that kind of energy and attention towards truth and reconciliation. Inspired youth have the power to move a nation. Lastly, there is the promise that youth engagement with truth and reconciliation will solidify its future. Young people easily absorb knowledge. What they learn now will stick with them forever. The benefits of youth engagement with truth and reconciliation aren't just temporary, yet they will be carried on into the future. Truth and reconciliation equip youth with two things: a genuine understanding of Canadian history and an opportunity to make an impact. Leaving these things until later would be detrimental for the movement. In other words, if we do not involve youth with truth and reconciliation right now, equipping these skills in the future will be much more difficult, leaving truth and reconciliation left out to dry. Youths are the powerhouse of a nation. They are confident and they could certainly deliver a message. I've experienced this myself as part of my school's diversity committee, which is entirely student-led and an amazing team to be a part of. I could barely remember how many times I've knocked on my teacher's door to bother them with a new initiative, because it's more than possible to engage youth with social justice, yet we must be the ones to do it. Truth and reconciliation give youth a genuine understanding of Canadian history, an opportunity to make change, and a chance of continuing truth and reconciliation into the future. My fellow cadets and friends, we are the future. What we are doing today will determine what we do tomorrow. Here, I'd like to challenge you, all of you, to come with me and get involved with truth and reconciliation. Hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, we could build a Canadian history that we are proud of.